Hello, I'm Ray with yet another midweek message. Start off with an email from Darren. He says you can't really make comparisons between the old days, the 50s, and these days. He says they're so different, there is no comparison. I think from what I've read from people's emails, Darren, is that youngsters today, like to hear what it was like back then at school, at work, pubs, clubs, cars. They like to hear about it. I remember when I first went to work in my teens in the 1960s, I remember talking to older people about the war because obviously I was born in 51. I missed the war years and you see things on TV, but it was interesting listening to the older people telling me about their experiences in wartime. I remember one chap telling me that he'd been away and he got back and his house had gone. His wife, fortunately, and children were okay, but they didn't have a house. He got back to his street and it's kind of flattened. I do understand what you mean. I see where you're coming from, but I do think that people like, as I say from the emails I get, the younger people like to hear about the good old days, as I call them. Just quickly, another email from Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. She's saying, in our day, we we had to save up for things. She said, my daughter got married recently, 3 years ago. I've just made notes from the rather lengthy email. Got married 3 years ago. They got everything. New three-piece suite, new kitchen appliances, new carpets everywhere, and new curtains, everything. And she said their house is like a show house. They've only been married 3 years. And of course, it's all on the credit card. She doesn't say what they owe on the card, but she says it is literally tens of thousands. Goodness knows, I don't know how they're going to pay it back. That's the problem. Now, she says, in our day, and this is very true, I remember it, if you wanted something, you saved up for it. There was HP, there was hire purchase, but you saved up for things. And she goes on to say about second-hand furniture, bits and pieces. When she got married, same with me. She says that they were given a kitchen table, for example. Next door neighbour to where she lived with her mum and dad gave her and her husband a kitchen table. Her parents gave her a three-piece suite because they bought another one. And she said our house that we had at the time, we filled it with second-hand furniture that had been given to us. Kitchen stuff, saucepans, pots, pans. Same with me. Exactly the same with me, Jennifer. When I first got married, people donated things. Older people, relatives, friends. Oh, we got some saucepans. Any good? Oh, yeah, we'll have saucepans. Whatever. Three-piece suite. Yeah, we'll grab that. That's the way we started. And I think that's going to be the kind of hook to hang next Sunday's episode on. What it was like then. Now, you can compare, going back to the previous email, you can compare then and now, or not, perhaps compare is the wrong word. I don't know, talk about. We can talk about how it was then and how it is now. In those days, there was no way, well, you didn't have a credit card, and there was no way you would be allowed to buy a load of brand new furniture on hire purchase. You just wouldn't be able to sign up for it. They wouldn't do it. So very, very different times. I remember the first house I bought, or we bought, I should say, we didn't have a carpet in the lounge. Someone gave us a second-hand carpet that they'd had taken up, and it was out in their garage. We got it round to our house. It was damp. It was a bit mouldy, but we got rid of that. We cleaned it up. I fitted it badly, and it lasted us for quite a few years until we could afford something better. That's the way it was then. I mean, can you imagine now, a young couple, they get married, they get their first house or flat, and someone gives them a mouldy old carpet out of their garage. It's a bit damp, there's mould on it, smells a bit, but it's got a heart of gold, and they fit it in their lounge. I mean, it just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen these days, would it? Anyway, if you've got any thoughts on anything I mentioned, it'd be great to hear from you for next Sunday's episode. Ray's Rants at protonmail.com. Until then, take care, and I shall see you Sunday. Bye-bye for now.